What's up, Yon World? It's your boy Original Dion, and today we're going over part 4 of how to prepare for the sun DNA activation. Now, I recommend you watch my past 3 videos, but if you haven't seen it, I'm making this series of videos because an event is going to happen in our lifetime. And this event is where our DNA is going to be changed by the sun. Now, over the past couple years since 2016, every year that's passed has been the hottest year in recorded history, and this is causing a lot of natural events to happen. One of them being the ice caps are melting faster than they normally should, and hurricane seasons are becoming way more active each year. Also, with the eruption of the volcano in Hawaii that's been erupting for over a month now, it's a lot of things we're going to see in nature before the news ever documents it. But one of the things that's going to come out of all of this chaos is a rebuild of our DNA. Now, I talked about this in video 3, but this DNA rebuild is something that is going to happen through the rays of the sun, and it's going to happen eventually in our lifetime. And I'm making these series of videos to prepare you for this. Now, the task you have before you is to consciously command, intend, and will the involvement of your DNA. Basically, you just have to meditate, right? You gotta meditate. One of the things that's gonna happen is the nervous system. Through the nervous system, everything will get downloaded, right? So you will feel like high levels of intense excitement in a way. But the way to control this so that excitement doesn't turn into anxiety for you during this period is to learn how to breathe. Now, I got a question. Do y'all breathe through your mouth or through your nose? Now, normally, some people, just breathe through their mouth. But the proper way to breathe is to inhale through your nose and to take it in into your belly, into your stomach. Now, that's the proper way of breathing. We're not taught how to breathe. Like, it's just kind of a natural movement for most people, but the proper way to breathe is through your nose and going into the bottom, into the pit of your stomach. Now, with all of this new downloads of information, learning how to breathe is going to be necessary in this time. So just remember that. Keep that in mind during this now. As this process begins to nurture itself and grow, simply observe it, for you will want to know how to access it. So, meaning, as everything is going on, as you sensing these changes that's happening with you on a spiritual level, you want to take note of that. You want to take note of how far you came and just all of your developments, so you can remember them in times where it may not be so constant. You know what I'm saying? Like, the information. So you want to write it down so you can always go back and reread it and refresh yourself. Now, we talked about the number 12 and how the DNA is based on that. What our DNA is going from 2 to 12 helices. You can look up different 12-strand DNA to understand what I'm talking about. But look up 12-strand DNA meditations, 12-strand DNA activation. This process you can speed up through different frequency meditations, but naturally the sun is going to make it happen. The information is going to kind of be revealed to you through these coming years. So some people will know about it ahead, and some people will just experience the evolution. All of this is going to come from the light of our sun. Remember, Earth is a living library. I talked about this on the last video, so we got to remember that we can go around this Earth. If you able to travel to some of the most ancient sites and you will be able to see what has happened, and how time repeats itself, and how time is really in cycles. And if you go all over the world, they will teach you everything you need to know. They left blueprints from every ancient site you can think about. They left a blueprint to what's going to happen. Now, there's many things that is not going to make sense to the logical mind, but it'll make tremendous sense to the light body. So we got to remember that a lot of this stuff is not going to be talked about on social media and through the news. It's going to come through nature first. You're going to have to pay attention to nature to really understand what's going on before anybody else tell you. Now, we got to understand that we are needed for this light, for this information. Is no way else to access the, there's no way else for this information to access this plane without us, without the human being. So without our DNA. So just know that you are required, you are a necessary part of this. And when it comes to, experiencing this energy before others, you gotta know sex is important, is an important part of this process. Understanding sex, owning your sexuality. Sexuality, your sex could be used to spark, your memory. And if you use it right, you know what I'm saying? And understand like the Kundalini energy. You got to understand the sexual energy and how to direct it during ejaculation, or even like for male pleasing your girl and holding back some of your ejaculation for power. You know what I'm saying? Because all of this is just about gaining our power back, and we gonna benefit from all of this stuff. So I got a lot of notes about this. Let's see. Intuition, right? Intuition is something that we gotta cultivate, because we are entering an age of the multi-dimensional self. Now, this has been explored in previous civilizations, where you see amazing feats of technology and you wonder like how. And we got to understand our ancient family were multi-dimensional. They had access to this realm and other realms, and that golden age is coming back. And once again, if you don't understand on this, just know the sun is going to provide you with all the information you need. So let's go into it. You will discover aspects of yourself that exist non-physically. That's deep. You got to think about that. The soul is going to wake up. That's deep. So we coming into a whole new age where you got to trust yourself and you got to rely on yourself, because everything is a result of our thoughts. Everything is going to be a result of thought. And thought is essential to understanding and working in this world. We got to understand how that works and understand how to get our frequency right, because we are here to ground and broadcast a frequency to this entire planet. And once the information comes, certain people that receive it better than others, you have to be willing to share that, because like I said in the last video, once you accept the light, there's no turning back. Once you accept the truth, you do something. You take something called responsibility, right? And that responsibility gives you that power, So it's a lot. It's a lot I got going on in these notes. When you are When you are informed more, you move beyond the need to be in fear. So the more information you get, the better. You know what I'm saying? Each each of us, we came here to awaken something, awaken the coding of the DNA, and by being on this video, you responding to that. It's something in you that's telling you that you gotta do something. You gotta do something with your consciousness. You know, consciousness, because consciousness must change. It's a part of the divine setup. You know, and we gotta understand. We gotta understand that it's a lot of frequency control going on right now. It's a lot of frequency control to keep us from receiving what I'm talking about. So just know, like, when you watch TV, listen to the radio, you know, read the newspaper, if you really want to evolve, you got to cut out all that shit. You got to cut out all that shit. Now, I know I'm telling you this from a YouTube video, but me, my actual consumption of this shit is very low. I consume the most positive material I can find on YouTube. I'm just not on here watching fights and all type of stuff that people will probably be into. But I'm barely on my social media, so this is the best place to catch me. But you know, it's a lot. It's a lot going on. I'm just reading over all of this, and you know, just prepare yourself for the transformation. I'm gonna leave it at 4, but I got a lot of information I could talk about in a different way. But I think a 4-part prepare yourself for the dawn. You just gotta know that if you didn't get nothing, just know the sun is gonna transform your DNA. And to be a part of this, you just gotta be conscious of that fact. So leave a like, comment, subscribe. That's all I got for y'all today. But yeah, it's way more. It's way more knowledge. Y'all can see. Oh, that's some other shit. But yeah. Peace.